guys, today we are going to do something that I haven't done in so long, and I'm so excited because we are going to be doing a palette bingo, and this palette is like blending into the background. That was not planned at all. Here's what the palette looks like. You guys already know what this one is. This is the Club Nebula palette that Angelica did in collaboration with Kaleidos. If you haven't seen this, I don't know what you're doing. I do have a 3-look video with this. I will link that in the corner if you want to check it out, but this is the color story, and I feel like this is the kind of palette that is perfect for a palette bingo because there's a little bit of everything, and there's a very good chance that we're going to get something that is very interesting with this color story just because of like everything that is in this. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and draw. If you're new to my palette bingos, I basically just draw 5 shades randomly from the palette, and then I use those to create an eye look with. So I'm going to pull up my random.org and we can draw the numbers and see what we end up getting today. So I'm going to put in 1 to 15 because that is how many shades are in the palette, and we're just going to start drawing. So the first one is going to be shade number 14, which is very exciting because it's this beautiful shimmer down here. So that's going to be the first shade. I'm going to swatch them out just one by one and we'll see what happens. So next shade is going to be shade number 13, which is the one right next to it. So we have the kind of corresponding matte, I guess you could call it. This is more of an orange and the other one is more like a pink. But still, these two are gonna go very nicely together. So already I'm like very happy with where this is going. Let's see what else we get. Shade number 13 again, we just did that. Shade number 6. Shade number 6 is another shimmer, so 5, 6. This is getting interesting. I would like another matte. That would be very nice if I only have one matte. It's going down to being a little bit of a problem. So 2 more shades to go. I feel like this is still like a pretty easy color story to work with. So let's see what else we get. Shade number 4, that is awesome. Even though shade number 4 is this dark teal. I wanted to say green, but it's definitely more of a, I guess it's more of a dark green. It doesn't really go with this other matte though, so that might be a little bit of a problem. That is so pigmented, that is crazy. Okay, last shade is going to be shade number 8. Shade number 8, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have another shimmer, so that's interesting. I don't know what I want to do with this. I really have no idea. I would never have put these colors together as an eye look, but I mean, I guess it kind of goes like my headband. Was that planned? Maybe not. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna start by priming my eyes. Of course, using my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and I do have a little bit of staining that I'm just going to quickly cover up. I feel like this color story really lends itself to doing like a 2-tone crease because these two mattes don't really blend very nicely in together. It's going to get a little bit muddy. I mean, a green and an orange isn't ideal to blend together, so I really don't want to use this as a transition shade to the green. It's just, I just don't really like the way that colors blend together when they are like on the opposite side of the color wheel. I know some people don't mind it getting a little bit muddy, but I really like my colors to stay true to color on my eyes. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this matte in the inner portion of my crease, use this in the outer portion, and then do basically the shimmers on my lid. This one on the outer portion, this one in kind of the middle, and this one in my inner corner. I feel like it's kind of obvious, but I don't know, I feel like it's going to make for a pretty cool look. So let's go ahead and start with that. So with my Rephr number 13, I'm dipping into this lightest of the mattes that we're gonna use. And I'm just gonna tap out my eyeshadow primer, which I sometimes forget to do. And I'm gonna put that in the front portion of my crease here. And I'm gonna take that probably about a little over halfway or so, I would say. I wanna make sure that I don't pull this too far out because when I do go back over it with that green, like I said, I don't really want these two really blend together too much. I just want them to kind of barely touch each other. How many of you ended up getting this palette? I know that they just had their last restock, but I think they're restocking one more time. I think that's what Angelica said. It was supposed to be the last restock, but apparently there was so much hype around it that they decided to do another round, which I think is awesome because, I mean, the more people can get their hands on this palette, the better. I am going to take this underneath my eye as well, just kind of in the same spot in the front portion of my lower lash line. So far, really liking this. I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen when I next go in with the green. So with my same brush, just wiping it off on my towel, hoping it's clean enough, I'm gonna dip into the shade right here. And I'm just putting this in the outer portion of my crease to begin with. I'm also gonna take this in the outer corner of my eye quite heavily here because I do want to go in with a little bit of that darkest shimmer over the top of this, and I really like having some kind of a base down for these shimmers because they are so sparkly and beautiful, and having something underneath just really makes them pop extra. So I'm gonna start gently blending this into that coral shade now, just using very, very small tapping motions where the colors meet. I don't really want to like do a lot of swiping and really blend a lot. I just want to make sure that it's looking like they are slightly blended together. I'm just gonna blend the edges over the top here as well. And I'm just going to finish it off by connecting it to the shade that I have underneath my eye, just so we can do the same on the top and the bottom. Also, I feel like I probably don't have to say this, but obviously if you're not subscribed to Angelic, I will link her channel down below so you can go check her out because she is amazing. So I think this is about where I'm going to leave it. I think this looks really nice. I am just going to take a clean, fluffy brush and just run over the edges one last time here just to make sure that it is as blended as I would like for it to be. I mean, for being such a dark shade, like this blends out so nicely on its own. I love this. Like, I don't need a transition shade at all to this color because this looks so good. So I think what's left to do is to put on the shimmers, but I am going to put down some glitter primer. Just taking that all over my lid where it is that I want the shimmers to go, which is basically all over my lid. You can see I'm layering it pretty heavily over that dark green in the outer corner here because I do want that dark shimmer to layer over the top because it is a little bit of a sheer formula, so it's just going to make it really pop. And I'm going to start with a shade here called Astro, which is this blue. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited to put this on my eyeballs again because I love colors like this. I'm going to start in the middle and drag this outwards. Look how beautiful that is. It's just makes me so happy. Gonna do it in a little bit of a diagonal. I want to make sure that I keep this mostly in the outer half of my lid though, because I am going to put down that coral shimmer. But look how pretty that is. It's so nice and wet looking. I think using a glitter primer with these shimmers just really transforms them. Just gently tapping this into my crease to make sure that I don't have any sharp edges. I don't want this to look like a cut crease at all. I'm just gonna wipe off my brush and I'm gonna take the clean-ish side and I'm gonna dip into the shade here called Nebula, and then we're just gonna finish off with the lightest shade in the inner corner. But I really think that this is going to come together. This is also such a beautiful shade. Oof, I really like this look. See, this is not something I ever would have done if I wasn't doing a palette bingo because I just wouldn't have put these two mattes together. But I think that surprisingly they kind of work. I don't know, let me know what you think. I feel like these work very nicely together. And I also feel like these two shimmers work very nicely together too, which I also wouldn't really have paired, but doing it now, I really feel like they mix quite nicely. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of this just in the front portion of my lower lash line as well, because I did that in one of my looks and I just thought it looked really, really cool. So I'm just gonna kind of layer this. I'm gonna spray this a little bit because I want this to be nice and intense. Just gonna layer that, like I said, a little bit over that orange that I put under my eye. And it's just going to make this really come together, I think. And then for the last touch, of course, I'm going to use the inner corner shade, which I think was this one. So obviously it's gonna go in the inner corner, which is right here. Such a beautiful icy lavender. I'm gonna blend that into the coral shade on my lid as well as under my eye. And I think that's gonna be it for the shadows. I think this turned out really, really nice. Maybe I'll take a little bit just of that dark matte and make sure that my outer corner is blended. Sometimes I forget about this step and I do feel like it makes a pretty big difference in the end result, just making sure it's nice and complete. Okay, I think I like this. I'm gonna finish off, do something in my waterline, do some liner, mascara, and all that jazz, and I'll come back and I will show you the look. Okay, so this is the look all done, and I really like this. I think this turned out really good. So to finish off, what I did is I used a little bit of just nude eyeliner in my waterline because I just didn't feel like I had any colors that would look good with this, and I also just don't really like black in my waterline. It's just a personal thing. I feel like it looks kind of stark against my eyes. I don't know. So I used this from Colourpop. This is in the shade Honeydew. For my lips, I'm wearing a gloss from Glamlight in the shade Eggnog because I felt like it was sort of that same kind of peachy color that was in my crease and on my lid. And I wanted it to be sort of like a monochromatic look with the rest of my face, so I think it turned out pretty good. My highlighter today is from Rephr. It's in the shade Cloud 9. This is the collab that Nikki Tutorials did with Rephr. Oh, I forgot her name there. Let's see. For my blush today, I'm wearing the Natasha Nona Mini Bloom Blush, which I've been wearing all the time lately because I just love it when I have this hair color, and I feel like it really goes with this look too. And I think this turned out really good, and it was so much fun to just play with this palette another time because it's sometimes hard for me to like justify going back to palettes that I've already like filmed a bunch with because there's usually always new things coming in, but honestly at the moment like it's been quite quiet and I've been enjoying that. It's been nice to not have to like rush and get videos up constantly and just be able to actually focus on the stuff that's come in, which is why a lot of my latest videos have been multiple look videos because I honestly I really enjoy filming them, hate editing them, but they're super fun and I know that you guys appreciate when I do them, so it's been fun to just have a little bit of extra time to like do those videos and put extra time into them. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys like the palette bingo. If you want to see some more, here's my playlist, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.